Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to graph the data from this lactase experiment. So remember, lactase is going to be the enzyme that breaks down lactose into glucose and galactose. So here's your kind of experiment worksheet, and I'm looking at this first part right here, the effect of pH on the rate of lactose breakdown by lactase. And so we're going to adjust the pH, and then we're going to measure the amount of product, so let's assume glucose, formed per minute. So that's how fast the glucose is being produced. So it's a rate of reaction, not the overall amount of glucose, but how fast are you making that glucose. So you'll notice that the amount of substrate in each of these is going to be constant. So you want to put 0.5 grams of substrate in all of your tubes, because otherwise you'd have way too many variables going on. And so we have different pHs and different amount of product formed per minute. So the one that you changed is the pH. So that's going to be your independent variable. That's the variable that you're changing. And then your dependent variable is going to be this number of molecules of product formed per minute, because that is kind of the effect that we're measuring. So you can do this graph by hand, but you can also use something called Google Sheets to do it. And it's a skill that I would encourage you to learn. You can apply it in a whole bunch of different circumstances, different classes, and since we're virtual, it's a great time to kind of hone that skill. So let's take a look at this. So I just opened up a new file. I can show you how to do that. Let's see. If I'm in my enzyme digestive system unit, you can just say new, and then you should have the option for Google Sheets, and you can just open it up and name it whatever you like. So in my first column, I'm going to put pH. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to put just capital P, capital H. And in the second one, I'm going to put my dependent variable, the thing that I'm measuring. So in that case, it's going to be the number of molecules of product formed per minute times 10 to the 6th. And I believe I can just copy and paste from here. Why make life difficult? Okay, now that did not convert the way I wanted it to. Can I do format? Let's see, format. Number. All right, I will worry about that later. But that is 10 to the 6th, not 106. There we go. So now I'm going to enter my pH values. So if I look here, I have 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So I can go back 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. And then for my reaction, I have my values of, let's see, we have 19, 39, 72, 45, and 24. So now I'm going to enter those values. 19, 39, 72, 45, and 24. Now your values may not be exactly the same. It is a simulation, but it does have some randomness in it. So if yours aren't exactly the same, then it may just be part of the randomness. They should be relatively similar though. So now I want to make a graph. I want a line graph, not a bar graph. I'm going to select these data, and then I'm going to hit Control and select these data. You can also just select all of the data. Usually I'm just used to using Excel, so I do it that way. But then you click Insert, and I want to insert a chart. and it may take it a second. There we go. That's it. It made your chart for you. So here I have reaction rate. Here I have pH, so it's got my my axes labeled properly. If they're not labeled, then you're going to want to go in and fix those. So there's different ways that you can modify this. I will show you in here. So it already gave me a line chart. If it didn't give you the right kind, like let's say by accident, it assumed you wanted a bar graph, you just go to the chart type and you can tell it what you want. You want a line chart for this. Now, I want a different title for this, so I can click on that and it actually brings me to the place where I can modify that. If not, you can go into this customize and there's a whole bunch of different options. So as we go on, I'll show you some of these other options, but in this case, I want to adjust that title because that was descriptive, but a little bit too much going on there. So I want to say, pH, lowercase pH, and reaction rate of lactase. Your title should be something similar, something somewhat descriptive. You also want to make sure that you have units. So for reaction rate here, that's great, but I want to change that so it actually tells me all of that information. So I don't know why I can't see that. Molecules, product, formed per minute, times 10 to the negative to the 6th. You always want to have the unit in the axes label. pH doesn't need a unit, but you do need it here, so I know exactly how that's being measured. So I hope that was helpful. I encourage you to try it out. Once you have this graph done, in order to put it into your lab, all you do is click on it, and then you can left click or just click on it and say Control C. And then you're going to come over to the document and you are going to say Control V. And I'm going to say paste unlinked. So if I go in and make any changes, it's not going to mess up my graph. Paste, done. So I hope that was helpful. You're also welcome to sketch the graph by hand and then upload a picture.